It looks like, Amanda, your phone just beeped. Please
Yeah,
silence.
I'll also turn that off. I'm just very popular.
One of the things that helped me with my fear whenever I came across spiders that I thought that I had a hard time seeing as beautiful or not creepy was learning about their eye arrangements, their hunting strategies. So if I couldn't look at them and think of them as beautiful, then find something cool.
Yeah,
That's
and there's
what.
always
So
something cool. Always.
always. Let's see. Diving bell spider. A spider that spends almost its entire life underwater, creates a diving bell out of silk and uses the
so cool
hydrophobic hairs on its abdomen to pull air down into it, and female has a bigger diving bell for mating purposes. I mean, that in itself is pretty cool. And then you have, like the net casting spider, also called ogre face spider, actually makes a net and like snatches up its prey with it. That is too cool. I'm sorry. Like if you,
it's like a cartoon.
It's Spider-Man stuff. That's Spider-Man. Fishing spiders. The one that's near and dear to me. They have the hairs on their legs that they can, sense everything that's going on in the water. And for those that don't know, the hairs on spiders or insects are sensory organs, and that's how they sense the world. And with spiders, that's pretty much how they sense everything except sight, and their sight usually sucks. So the hairs on their body are really important. That's why grooming is important too. So keeping things clean so that they can sense the world around them. So
unless you're a jumper, jumpers have good eyesight.
Jumpers have good eyesight. There's a few that do.
Huntsmen and wolf spiders all have really good eyesight.
Net casting spiders do as well for night vision. And I feel like Tomisidae, I feel like I read that they
maybe
have better than some too. But but even still, in comparison
generally
to how
their
we
eyesight
see,
is pretty junk. Yeah.
Compared to how we see, it's still not the same. But anyhow, like it's really cool to know that these spiders can actually tell when they're floating on water because the hairs are hydrophobic, which allows them to float, and so they just float on water, and then they can tell when an aquatic insect or a fish is below them, and they'll dive down and grab them and venomate, and then they can stay underwater for a while. The hydrophobic hairs will keep an air bubble that they can breathe from.
Yeah,
the spiders breathe out of their butts. So, sorry to use technical terms like that, but so spiders have book lungs and breathe out the backside. So if you ever see a spider with its whole front end immersed underwater, they're just fine.
Yeah, they're doing all right. So we talked a little bit about Sarah Rose's incredible book.
Yes.
And All Bugs Go to Kevin. Do you have any other good identification resources you can suggest or recommend?
So, I like using Bug Guide as far as things to have handy with me when I'm out in the field. Having a Kaufman Field Guide, of course, Sarah Rose's book is nice because they're not a huge book, so you can just carry them along with you and take a gander when you find something you want to identify or learn a little bit more about. And AI is one of those things that a lot of people love, but when it comes to arthropods, it sometimes can get you in the ballpark. But I don't ever trust an identification, and even if I think it's right, I always triple check. Like I am plugging the scientific name into Bug Guide, looking at the identification information to see if it matches up with all of the things that I can see in the photograph. And I just make sure that I do the work. And if I'm still not convinced, then I keep it at genus level ID, and that's okay. I want to be accurate, I want to just make sure I'm teaching people the best information I can. And so if the best I can get is genus, that's what they get. And so, yeah.
So if I want to start my own Kevin journey, what do I need to do to start going out and photographing bugs and learning about bugs? What would you recommend?
So are you talking about part of that journey being like overcoming the fear too?
Well, I'm just trying to think of I think specifically often of my husband, who is petrified of spiders, doesn't like bugs, but petrified of spiders.
Hmm.
What can I do to help him get down that road of like, hey, they're great actually? Like, what's the first step? Is the first step just wanting to get over it?
Yes, absolutely, and that's
Yeah.
the first thing I was going to say, because one of the things I run into a lot is people, the second you bring up a fear that they have, an animal fear, they're like, no, no, no. They don't want to hear anymore. They're like shutting it down before you can even get anything else out. And so if they're in that place, they have to get past that place. You have to want to truly work through that fear.
Yeah.
And so that would be the first step, is just saying, okay, I want to do this. And as long as you keep that open-minded approach, I think that you can get there. In some cases, people are so phobic that they need professional help, and that's totally okay. If somebody
Yeah.
needs to seek out a mental health professional to get over a phobia of an animal that is not likely to ever cause you harm, I think that's kind of important if it's changing your world in a way where you're not experiencing your life like you should. If you're not living, that's a big deal. And that's one of the things that just gives me such joy, is seeing people live their lives where they weren't before through All Bugs Go to Kevin. Just a little education, desensitization through looking at photos and just having conversations with people. The water thing, the water on a Q-tip is changing people's lives. It is giving somebody this connection with wildlife like they would a bird or a sick rabbit or whatever, an animal that they think of as fuzzy and cute. They are now connecting with a spider in that way, and it is life-changing for some people. Never expected that. When I talked to Kelly in Texas and told her, give water in a Q-tip, I've never done it. I just know it'll hold water. If they want water, it gives you some distance. That's all I was thinking. It gives you some distance and control. And then more and more people started posting posts of giving water, and people are seeing this and going, okay, this is like this building block of life that I take in every day that I need too. And I'm having this personal connection, right, and sharing it with this animal. And there's this like, there's just this beautiful thing that happens, and it makes me happy, and it just to see people connect with that and go, okay, I think I'm going to try this. I think I'm going to try this, saving these animals. And there's it feels good. You're releasing endorphins to just help another animal, and it doesn't matter whether it's a cute fuzzy rabbit or a cute fuzzy spider.
And they are cute and fuzzy.
You can get that way. You can get to where you actually see their beauty if you just learn more about them and find things to like about them. Eventually, the fear just melts away, and next thing you know, you're not thinking all the negative thoughts anymore. So.
I don't have kids of my own, but my friends have children, and I love when they bring me bugs. Aunt Kelly, what's this bug? Aunt Kelly, come look at this spider I found, and I'm like, oh, all day. And one of them brought me to a spider who had passed, who was dead, and I explained to him what happened, and he said that he hoped that the bug's mommy wasn't sad. And I was like, oh. I said, it's okay, pal. This bug doesn't live with his mommy anymore. She'll never know. And then he asked,
you know them. Okay.
It's so cute. And then he asked me if we could have a funeral for the spider.
Oh.
And we did. We both said a few words, and then I told him let's put the spider under the best place in the yard. Where should we put him? So he wanted it to go under the bush. Under a flowering bush in the front. So we moved it under there, and we said goodbye. And it was just so touching for a little guy. I think he was probably, 6 or 7 at the time, to feel that love and connection to this little spider in the driveway. Like, you know what I mean? And
yeah.
Very, very sweet. And it makes my heart explode, because to think about children having all these great thoughts about bugs, and you're like doing this all the time for so many people, kids and adults alike. It's awesome. It's a good thing to have around.
It's amazing. Working with kids. I mean, I used to work in juvenile detention, and so I've just got a heart for kind of the misunderstood in general, I think, and the misinformed, and kids are just great because some of them have fears, some of them don't, but they're so much easier to kind of turn around usually, and they're so inquisitive. Kids ask the greatest questions, especially like the kindergartner or first grade age level. They ask some stumpers.
Yeah,
Get the older kids, and they think a little bit more like we do, and
Yeah.
and then there's some good questions out there, but usually none that make me go,
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah,
have to get back
kindergarten
to you
will
on
hit you with
that.
like, if I had 13 spiders, which one would be the king? And I'm like, I don't know.
So we talk about bugs and their connection to superheroes, and that bugs need a hero on this podcast. Are there any bugs in particular you think could really need a hero at this time? Who needs the most help?
I'm an advocate for anything that people fear, because I think getting past that hurdle of fear, once you do that, everything else is just like fun. It's icing on the cake. It's just like it's bonus material that just helps you fall in love more with the environment and love the world around you a little bit more and see the connections. So for me, it's things like spiders, of course, especially medically significant, wasps, bees,
Those scorpions are so
roaches,
cool. I feel like scorpions are one of the
scorpions.
ones where like I need to learn more about scorpions because I think they're so cool looking, but they kind of freak me out still.
Mhm.
Because I mean, they got a tail with a stinger on it. That's like intense. That's like intense. But like, I don't know. They're so cool. I want to know more about scorpions.
I think they're fascinating, and the first the first scorpion I ever got was I had gone to a show and they only had one species, and I'd been keeping spiders already for a while, and I was like, okay, I think I want a scorpion, and so I looked at it, and I wasn't familiar with the species, and it was Titius cirrulatus, which is the Brazilian yellow scorpion, and don't quote me on the scientific name, but it is like the most medically significant scorpion in Brazil. It is definitely something not to be trifled
Wow.
with. And no, this is my first species because I read about them, and they're parthenogenic, which means they clone themselves basically,
Yeah.
and that is so cool. And I got to see it, so.
The cloning thing is wild to me. Like it's so cool. Like
Well, I
there's
mean,
some lizards that do it too. I think.
Yep,
And it's,
lizards
like,
and snakes will do it.
yeah, and in
wild.
the scorpion world, I think there's a dozen species, maybe a few more that have been discovered that they know are parthenogenic.
We're at Christmas time, so it's the right time to talk about parthenogenesis. Possibly sacrilegious comment.
Oh man. Well, if I didn't like you already, Amanda.
Sorry.
So I'm gonna interject here.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I'll decide later if we have to cut that.
How upset do I want to make my parents?
Yeah. But we're at about an hour and a half recording time, so I want to make sure, Kevin, you're still doing okay for time, and maybe we do leg segments.
Well, Kevin, it was so awesome to talk to you. In general, how many legs would you give bugs? Or maybe how many legs would you give your Facebook group out of 6 or 8 legs? Your choice. Is it a 6 out of 6 Facebook group?
It is a whatever number out of that number.
Yeah.
It's very. All Bugs Go to Kevin is very near and dear to me. The people in it are very near and dear to me, and the growth I see in people means so much. And I am just super thankful for the experiences that have come from it, the connections that have come from it. But just the growth in people and seeing the new educators being created through it. I love my group, and I love just my admins. I wanted to make sure I didn't forget them. Like they are amazing people, and we truly are a family. We don't call each other, we call each other a team, but we call each other the admin family, and we look out for each other. And You know, if one of us is dealing with loss, we reach out to each other via phone, sometimes send each other little care packages. I mean, I am one of the richest men in the world, the way I see it. I don't have much money, but I have so many amazing people and so much love and support around me through my admins, through the Facebook community, like of bug lovers. Not just All Bugs Go to Kevin, but the admins from some of the other big groups that are doing really good things. And I'm just blown away. I can't believe this is my life. I feel like I'm watching a movie of somebody else's life because I have had like a lifetime worth of experiences in the last 4.5 years since I started All Bugs Go to Kevin, and I'm just super thankful to everyone who's made that happen and empowered me and helped to grow my passion and all the things. I'm just blown away with the support that I have.
In a time when it's really easy to see the dark side of the internet, and like, what have we wrought upon each other by being connected?
Absolutely.
Like, it's really nice to have a corner of the internet where like that connection and the bridges you build with people all over the world, like that's what the internet is good for. That's the shining brightness of connection. It's easy to get to the dark parts of the internet, so it's nice. It's nice to focus on like the good parts where like people just get together and talk about bugs and not being scared and moving.
Light.
Yeah,
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I would give All Bugs Go to Kevin 8 out of 8 spider legs.
8 out of 8 spider legs.
Yeah.
Specifically.
I love it. I love that group.
1,000 out of 1,000 millipede.
Yeah, exactly.
I do more lurking than I do commenting. I should comment more. I feel like I'm totally unneeded because there are so many awesome experts on that page. I'm like, they don't need me to say anything. But I love looking at the photos. I should share more of my photos. I don't take very good
Yes, you should.
photos. I don't have a good setup, but it's really just about
think
sharing
that
the
everyone
animal.
should share their photos, unless it's like one of those like blur spots where like
Is this a
if
brown
you have a
recluse?
photo and it's clear that it is an arthropod and you have a story to tell, please share it in All Bugs Go to Kevin because your story is important and it helps somebody. And that's why the community works. It's almost like a 12-step program for bugs. As somebody, I'm a recovering alcoholic, and it's something that you don't have to cut, Derek, me saying that. I am a recovering alcoholic, and I'm proud to say that. And I hope that that by saying that people who are suffering can see that you can get out and your life can get better and you can do big things. Oh, yeah. I didn't know I could do big things, but here I am doing it, and it would not be without my sobriety. And so, I don't even know why I went off on that tangent.
You felt it was important to connect on something else.
It is.
I guess my brain, ADHD is fun.
It's important to know that you can
podcast.
you can do important work as a regular dude,
A regular Kevin.
A regular Kevin.
Yeah, and I'm not an academic. I don't know if we said that. I am not an academic. So anybody who I have a lot of people that say you should go to school, be an entomologist. There's a part of me that doesn't want to. I kind of like being the guy who can show people that you can do it. And if you're like me and you're in your 40s and you want to make a difference, you're not too old. No matter where you are,
it's never too late.
You can make a difference. And I had to come to a realization, and it was through my sobriety, that like I cannot be upset about things not changing if I'm not going to be a part of it. So if I want things to change, I have to be a part of change. So anybody hearing that right now, if you want things to change, step out, be a part of it. It can be scary, but everything scary I've done in the last 7 years has been some of the most rewarding things I've done in my life. And I'm just thankful for all of it. And I'm thankful for you all too. So.
Oh, thanks.
Thanks, Kev. I'm thankful for you, buddy. I'm thankful for everybody. Yeah.
I'm thankful for bugs.
Yeah.
Is this where we sing Kumbaya or?
It is.
Oh, I must also congratulate you on the rare, successful double pun. of All Bugs Go to Kevin. 'Cause it's not
Thank
just
you. I cannot take any compliments or anything on that. That is my boy Nick Martino, who is in Insect Identification, which is the first place I ever adminned. And All Bugs Go to Kevin would not be what it is if it wasn't for my time in that group and Ant-Man's Hill. I help in there too. And my God,
it's hard to change 2 words in a phrase and have it still read correctly.
So I went to Insect Identification. We have a group chat where we talk about all the business dealings of the day, and I just said, okay, a lot of people have been reaching out. It was after I just got my first camera, and people were like, okay, your photography looks so much better than it did before, and so I was like, well, I got a camera now, and they're like, okay, you need to start your own thing. You teach differently than a lot of people do, and you just connect differently than people do, and you should do your own thing. People will come. And I was like, well, I don't really want this place to be all about me. And so I was like, okay. So I started kind of working on what I wanted the template, so to speak, to look like for All Bugs Go to Kevin. And then it was like, okay, once I had that, I needed a name, and I just went to Insect Identification group chat, and I said, okay, I'm going to do it. Does anybody have any ideas? My last name's Wiener. I was trying to see if I could come up with something fun around that, but like Wiener Picks probably won't get the right following. And so
Wiener loves bugs, not
so
great.
Nick Martino, who is super clever and witty, very quickly spits out All Bugs Go to Kevin. And other people actually
it's so perfect.
Put up some pretty good ones too, but I just could not let that one go. And little did I know that having my name in it would bring so much attention to me individually. And as much as I didn't want to make it all about me, I'm really glad my name was put in there because my life has changed so much for the better.
Yeah.
So I've become a better human, not just a better entomologist and arachnologist. And I've just... my life has been just so enriched by all the people and the experiences. I am just so thankful.
My partner,
and I'm thankful for this today. So say that again, Derek.
Oh, my partner specifically wanted to know why or what you do with all of the bugs that go to you.
What do they do when they get to Kevin?
Clearly photograph them. But the animals that do find their way to me, literally, some of the animals I have are saved from pesticide exposure. And so they get, they may get put into an enclosure and taken to schools and events and things for people to see why they're so cool and so important. So in some cases they come to me, that's what happens. But in most cases they just get a photo shoot.
Looking beautiful.
And people can see all those photos at facebook.com/allbugsgotokevin.
Do you have any
facebook.com/groups/allbugsgotokevin.
Do you have any other social media stuff? Yeah, sorry. Any other links you'd like to plug? Sorry, Amanda. We had the same thought.
Yeah. Anywhere else I could see your stuff?
Well, I've already plugged Insect Identification on Facebook and Ant-Man's Hill. Andrea Haberkern has a group for people who like to just let loose a little bit more, and I always end up messing this up when I say the name of her group. But Andrea was actually the person who reached out to me about doing the NSOC 2020, and I will say that changed my world. Okay, so it's called Spider/Bug Questions with the Bug Girl, and Sarah Rose has several groups that are amazing, that are state-specific for Tennessee, Ohio, and I feel like there might be another one, but I'm not going to mention anything just in case I don't want to mess that up. But Sarah helps out where she can on social media, and definitely in All Bugs Go to Kevin. She has been just amazing, and she just there hasn't been a tag that she hasn't come and helped me when I need help on a question, and then just the person she's been in my life, I've been pretty thankful. So, but I could think of like 10 million links, and if you can't tell I'm a talker, so do you want to do like an hour-long link session? I wasn't prepared with links.
That's
If you-
okay. Just
if you
because
come
we'll
up
put
with
links in
more.
the show notes. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you guys want any photos of mine, like for the website or anything to add in or anything like that?
Send us some of your favorites, and we'll put some of those up.
And maybe the bola spider because we specifically talked about the
And
bola spider.
the
Okay.
maybe one of those, was it diving or fishing? One of those you talked
Is-
about those.
Diving
too.
Fishing
bell.
spider, yes.
Fishing
Diving bell
spider.
spider, I'll probably never see in my lifetime. But
Yeah.
We
Good luck.
have many of those saved from the Spider-Man panel that Kelly and I did that you were gracious enough to give us those
Yeah.
pictures to use. And Amanda and I will be doing that in a few weeks.
awesome, cool.
But this was
Well-
great. So, but we've taken enough of your time, and it takes me about 3 times as long as each episode to edit. So I don't want to take up too much more. For
I
selfish
understand.
reasons.
Yeah, people are always worried about my time, and I'll just talk and talk and talk and talk and like laugh and joke and have a good time with everybody. So I'm more worried about your time.
You
but
feel
I
good, Kev?
appreciate you.
You had a
I
good
do
time.
feel good.
Okay.
I did. Yeah.
All right.
Do you all feel good?
Oh yeah.
I feel great. Well, thank you so much for joining us, Kevin. Please do go look at those even just the Instagram. All bugs go to Kevin is a nice little brief little scroll through.
Very
Please go
brief.
check them out. They're so good. I can't emphasize how much I like these pictures enough. And we will catch you on the flip side. Bye. Bugs Need Heroes was created by Derek Conrad and Kelly Zimmerman, hosted by Amanda Allen Niday and Kelly Zimmerman. Bugs Need Heroes is produced and edited by Derek Conrad, with some assistance from Chelsea Bodden and a few cats. Character art is by Amanda Allen Niday. Our music is Ladybug Castle by Roll Music. Got a bug question? Email us at bugsneedheroes@gmail.com. Check us out at bugsneedheroes.com, and most of the socials are under Bugs Need Heroes. Thank you to the Entomological Society of America for the Chrysalis Fund grant.
Your name should be Oscar Mayer.